ready for battle.
All right. Welcome to, I guess, episode 2 of the Feedback Friday. Now with webcam. I'm no longer just a disembodied voice. So this is really sick. Don't be alarmed by the top right. I didn't actually play Bastion. But we're going to be rod reviewing my gameplay on Havana. We didn't really have like today was like a good day. Like I think we went 4-1, or was it 5-1? Like we only lost one game, and that game was like, I don't know. I felt like it wasn't like the best candidate for a VOD review. This one was like really close. We still won, but I can definitely like pinpoint some key mistakes that I made. Some of them a little embarrassing. So we're gonna jump in and just kind of see what's up, what's going down.
5, 4, 3,
okay.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Yeah, I think this. Yeah, I think this was kind of a. Okay, so this is kind of a risky flank already, like because I didn't really know what their comp was. But I do the smart thing and just making sure I leave before, like I don't wear out my welcome. If anything, maybe it was just to kind of draw their attention to that direction. But I don't know, like I think that can be good, but it might be better to like always communicate with your team to go on a flank like that. Especially because you never know, out of spawn they might have a hog or someone, or like even a widow or something that can one-shot you, and you definitely don't want to afford to have yourself caught out so soon in defense. Good focus on the echo. Yeah, I think what a lot of people will kind of get this like misconception that, see, that's a good pick. I think a lot of people will get this misconception that like when you're pressuring out someone like an Echo or a Pharah with hit scan, obviously the goal is you want to kill them, you want to get the elimination. But I know that that's very hard with anyone because like, I mean, hitting a Pharah and Echo out of the sky, it's like, it's tough, you know, it's mechanically demanding. And also like you have to land your consecutive shots if they're also being pocketed by a Mercy. Like I think with some of the damage fall off changes, you might have to hit at least like 7 body shots, if not a headshot, on a pharmacy for a Pharah. I could be wrong though with the damage fall off changes. I just haven't kept track of the numbers. So a lot of times, like what you try to opt for is force her to play in cover. Like force her to not take like super wide disrespectful angles, whether it's an Echo or a Pharah, where they're just kind of sitting atop, like, because there's not necessarily that much cover like in this choke. And like you even notice when I did get this pick, like she was all the way up here, like, and I had this nice angle to kind of see her up here, like, and she dropped immediately down, which I mean like is a good call, because honestly the only cover you really have is to kind of fall back or just drop behind payload. And she did, but I was still able to get her. Maybe for that moment was she getting killed by the, yeah, see, so look for, like, when you're playing against a pharmacy or an Echo Mercy, like always be mindful of the times where she's not getting pocketed or getting resources by her team, because that's when you want to strike. They get the res there, but immediately, as soon as she's rezzed, like, I'm pressuring her again. And then I'm pressuring the Genji as well. I have this nasty habit of shooting deflects, like, because I think in my head, I'm just like, eventually the deflect's going to end, and I will continue shooting, but I don't know. There's been a couple times where I'm just, like, super laser focused and will shoot a deflecting Genji, and it'll end up just killing a teammate, which is so bad on my part. That's another pick, got help from the Zarya. But that's, again, I mean, like, it's also, I don't know, this might not be the best map to play something like Echo on first point. Just because, I mean, maybe Havana's not even good to play that, like, on any point, just because it's so wide open. Like, you have to maybe play more on the ground, which is, I don't know, it prevents you from getting so much, like, opportunity. Oh, yeah, this is when I waved hi to my... and they were like, oh, That wasn't very nice. Oh yeah, I think this was the game, if I remember correctly, like our Ana kept being like, oh, I need healing, I need healing. Or no, was that the other game? I almost walked into all those. This was... Okay, I think this was a good choice. If the Genji was blading, I don't think popping visor would have been good because you literally just get two-tapped with the slash dash.
Good choice.
And I prioritize targeting the Mercy because, I mean, when you literally have an aimbot and she's Valking, that's free real estate. So any Mercy players that are watching, like, I see this a lot, like, and I've done it a couple times myself, and it sucks. But, like, I don't know, whenever you hear High Noon or whenever you hear Visor and you have Valk, like, stay low. Because there's just, like, this weird instinct where when people pop Valk, they tend to, like, fly up. And I think that can be good if you're in cover and you have access to cover. But a lot of people can think that, like, oh, like, I'm still okay with Guardian Angel. I can get there fast enough. A quick tip for McCree is that because McCree fires from his right to left, it's always good to be positioned on your right. Like if you're facing McCree, you want to be like on like the right side because I think that aligns properly, right? I think so. Because he'll shoot you last essentially when he's going right to left with High Noon.
Tactical necessity.
But not for Soldier. And Soldier just stick in cover. But I think this was a decent visor because what it did was it relieved the pressure from losing our Zarya. Like, our Zarya was kind of doomed because... Okay. Yeah, I got bladed. I'm getting red? Okay. And I guess, like, I had the, like, so Josiah gave his life to res me, but we still won this fight because... Alright. Wow. Yeah, so I guess it's a good Nano. I guess it was a good choice, like, looking back, that I didn't chase the Genji with Nano. I instead tried to opt for like a more high value target like the support, and I ended up getting the Ana with the Helix rocket. The Genji is getting pressured quite a bit, and so aside from that one kill he got on Blade, I feel like he hasn't necessarily been that much of an issue. Yeah, he falls to the Helix, continuing to pressure the Echo.
Only gets better with age.
And again, like, in a situation like that, I notice how they have a baby D.Va there. And granted, like, it's a baby D.Va. But at the same time, like, you notice how the Sigma puts his shield up, right? You know? And...
Only gets better with age.
Like, okay, so the D.Va had, like, 30% ult charge to go. But granted, I think she could have gotten that fairly quickly and gotten her mech back. But... like, if I kept just shooting at the shield, if I kept shooting at the Sig shield, that would have been, like, a good, like, 2 or 3 seconds of damage potential lost, where instead I noticed that the baby D.Va is outside of the shield, and I just focus on that instead, you know, because, like, that was kind of a positioning or, like, retreating mistake where she wasn't retreating with the rest of her team to our right-hand side, but... like, yes, in some ways you're supposed to pressure your shields because you want to help out your tanks to give them the advantage, but also you want to be aware of where's the other team positioning. If I'm going to be wasting time shooting a shield when I could be doing more damage to someone that's not behind a shield and not in cover, always do that. Unless specifically, like, your Rein is like, oh, break shield, I want to try to look for shatter. Like, that's when, like, communication is in play, but a lot of times, like, there's a lot of damage potential wasted if you're just shooting the shield.
Powered up. Join me. Fall back. Barrier's about to break.
Tracer. Oh, I woke the Genji. I woke the Genji. There was literally one stray bullet that woke the Genji. Yep. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ana. That was such a good sleep. And this is where I think I try to be a hero.
I've got you in my sights.
I legitimately didn't think that this Ana would land this sleep. And their D.Va was doing a really good job of always zoning me out whenever I had visor. So if you're playing D.Va, like, you should always be doing that. That was also a good sleep by their Ana. I legitimately just thought that she wouldn't land that. But I also should not necessarily have gone for this play. Like, I think I knew that my team was retreating. If anything, what I could have done is maybe communicated that I have visor. Like, I could have, like, not jumped to the gun here. I could have maybe just waited in cover because I don't think they really knew I was here. When the rest of my team pushed, then I could have gone for a flank while their focus was, like, tending to the front line of my team. But now that I'm looking at these respawns, I don't think we would have made it back in time. So this was all around just, like, not a good call by me. Because now I died, which kind of staggers myself because they're about to start the next fight, and I have, like, now a longer distance to travel, but I also lost my ult, which could have gone value, like, in a like, more drawn out team fight. I remember, oh yeah, so Josiah switches to Brig here. That was like such a good call. Like, I honestly think that, like, we had, like, our percentage of winning this game went up, like, exponentially as soon as he swapped to Brig. I know I called my team and, like, told them that there was the Tracer on the right. So, like, you know, for this, like, wearing out the shield, because I guess another caveat that I do want to say is that, like, while you shouldn't be necessarily shooting a shield, if a Sigma's going to just leave his barrier up like that, like, yeah, you want to, like, wear it down, because if you do break the shield, that gives him a delay where he doesn't have access to it, and that'll force him to use other cooldowns, especially his grasp, which is huge. Speaking of using grasp, our Sigma just used it. I think I heard the Tracer going this way. Oh, I didn't even notice, but that Grav got eaten by the D.Va. That was also, I think, just a... Actually, let me see what happens here. This was just a miscommunication with our tank line. I don't think they were a duo, and I don't know. Also, just because Sigma Zarya is not really the greatest tank line, but also, like, you literally have both of them using their ults. One of them ended up getting eaten, and, like, as you can see, both of them are using literally, like, things to eat it. So I feel like it just not the greatest choice, but I don't know. Like, tanks have a good way of, like, mind gaming and stuff, so that's just how it goes. But I think, like, at the same time, these are two ults that would have just counteracted each other. Like, they're just contradictory. Like, you have a Grav that holds people in place, like, on the ground or, like, to a surface, and then you have this Flux that lifts everybody up in the air. So it might have just been better, like, to coordinate that. But it also, like, if you're wanting to play tank, like, and you're gonna pick Sigma Zarya, like, while that might not be the most optimized tank line option, like, just make sure to know, like, when you're using your ultimate, and just kind of be aware of that, because you don't want to, like, sabotage your other tank's ultimate by using yours, you know? I think we dealt with this Blade actually fairly well. Really good call with our Ana. So Ana did, like, ML7 did a tip video on Ana where obviously he talked about, like, against Genji, it always feels good to sleep the Nano Blade, right? But I mean, it's hard. It's a hard thing to land, and you're not always going to land it every time. And so a lot of what he does is that try and figure out who the Nano Blading Genji is targeting and nano that target. So basically it's like the equal, like, damage resistance to, like, damage boost of the nanos, and then you pocket them. And that was really good because our Ana nanoed Josiah on Brig and pocketed him and kept him alive, which was really good. And that Blade, I don't think, really got any value. And I think we're still, like, we're kind of winning this fight. Yeah, like, we're holding him. Almost D-Max with D.Va. Oh, my tracking just lagging a little bit behind there on that Mercy poppin' Valk. Swap to Dune. I dropped down to... Okay. To possibly chase the Genji if he's dead. Making sure to keep checking this Tracer and keeping her at bay, spotting her out, and trying to just kind of do poke damage. And also, I think something that I need to be more aware of, but it's also just like a good word of not word of mouth, but just like good law to live by, is that when you're playing against a D.Va, and you know that they have bomb, or even just in general because it's good practice, try not to play out in the open as much, even if it gives you a good sightline. That's like a great recipe and excuse for a D.Va to get a free kill on you with the bomb. And so, like me playing in cover up here, it gave me a good excuse to find cover as soon as I saw the bomb. Similar to like earlier on point A when I was hiding behind the truck. That one was close. But yeah, try not to get yourself caught out in the open, especially against a D.Va, because when she throws bomb and you're like stuck without cover, you're SOL. See, I learned my lesson. I'm not shooting at the sleeping target. As an Ana, that's like my biggest pet peeve, and I do it. So, I apologize. We got the Tracer. I try to get the splash damage of the Helix by shooting at the ground to like bypass the deflect. He gets nanoed again. Yeah, I'm noticing this game, like, he was getting nanoed, he didn't have Blade a lot. It might have been to get nano faster, I don't know. But, yeah. We lose Brig. Oh, wow, I actually get the kill on the nano. This was also just another boneheaded visor. Like, I don't know what I was thinking here. Like, I don't know. I just, like, I tunnel vision so hard and think I can be the hero. When in reality, I'm honestly, like, I feel like I'm confident in my soldier mechanics, at least, that I could probably do more damage without the visor. Because also, when you pop an ultimate, like visor or nano blade or like anything, like, that's when literally, like, you're literally putting, like, a magnifying glass, like neon signs with arrows pointing at you, being like, all right, everyone, here I am. This is what I'm doing. So, like, I don't know. I feel like an alt like visor is one where you're not going to draw attention to yourself. You want the attention to be drawn elsewhere, and then you pop it when they don't expect it. But, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, that's like 2 times now where my visor was kind of wasted because I just thought I could be a hero. When they have literally a Sigma with shield, Sigma with eat, D.Va with eat, Genji with deflect, you know, like, I ain't 1v6 in that, fam. Or 1v5 in that, because I did get the kill on Genji, but no. Not I do get the kill on the Mercy. And then I just get instantly dunked on by Floofy on the Genji. Okay, this is where I swap Tracer. Okay, so I remember that I kind of felt like I should be doing something here, like, because I felt like we kind of like used a lot of time. I heard their Ana use sleep. I felt like we were just sitting in there for so long, when I think maybe I could have been trying to scout out their other Tracer, who, like, what is going on with Tracer? Are you okay? Tracer? What is that? What is happening? Oh no. I think she might need to call a doctor and get that looked at. Okay, it's gone. Like, I think I could have done a better job of scouting out their Tracer. Because if I'm scouting out their Tracer, that, like, you know, that's more information for our team to work with. Granted, I think the rally armor probably helps our Ana getting dove here. Yeah, and also... Oh. Whew, that was close. Like, Josiah he knows how to play Brig. He has a really good Brig where, like, he's just super aware of making sure to peel for his Ana. And that's what a lot of Brigs don't do. Like, a lot of Brigs, like, at least in this elo, they have a tendency to, like, still think that they're playing old Brig. You want to like always be peeling for your support because you are an anti-diver. Like you are literally like a deterrent for a diver. And so if they are running Tracer, you want to do everything in your power to keep your Ana alive. Even if that means leaving the team for a bit, because you have to remember Ana has long range heals, and as long as she's alive, she can heal the team. Versus with Brig, you can only kind of heal within your Inspire and your little armor packs now. Like, but yeah, priority is to always peel for your main healer. Always. So really well done. Okay. Yeah, see, like, that's just good awareness. Like, well done on Josiah. Just, like, he's just always, like, babysitting the Ana. And, like, that shield bash gave me, like, the space, like, opportunity to finish that kill, even though she was probably dead anyway. Why was I shooting the cart? What was I doing? Oh, I'm really low. Yeah, that was... This is also tough, like, we pushed up really far, like, we touched the spawn door, and... I actually want to see this pulse, because I don't think I was even close to the Ana. It might have been better to try and stick the Brig. Bro! Oh no, it's so sad. Oh, yeah, that's a whiff. I need to practice those. Oh yeah, I died of Sigma balls.
I'm going in.
Yeah. I think what I could have done better there was I also have to realize that, like, my team was retreating. I shouldn't have gone for a pulse here because, like, we were backing up. Like, oh, look, the damage indicator still rotates when I'm not even with my character. That's funny. Like, our monkey died, and he's coming back from spawn just now. I should, again, like, I need to stop going for these, like, weird hero plays at, like, the random times. I think I should try and be a little more aware of my team and what they're doing. Yeah, we just lost our Sig. Like, why would I try and go for, like, a pulse bomb here? And granted, I think in the future I should go for the stick on the Brig because she's such a high-value stick target because you're losing out on so much of that area of effect healing with the Inspire. Yeah. As well as, like, Rally is a powerful ult, so... Yeah, I don't know. That was just not a good play. I feel like my ult usage, again, is just...
On my way. On my way.
Okay. Now this, I remembered, specifically as I went on this flank, I was like, I remember that Dorado game from the first episode of Feedback Friday where I was like, I'm like not closing the gap between myself and my opponent. And so I was like, I need to play with less fear, more trigger discipline, and just get in the face of my target. And I literally do that. What is this Ana see? Does she see me in her scope?
I've seen you. You're right.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she literally does. Like, I'm literally right in her face.
I'm under attack.
And that scares her enough to use the sleep dart. Like, I managed to blink away. And because their Brig is not as good as... Well, okay, she is kind of approaching. Wow, their whole team is actually going out. How do I get out? Huh. Okay, so I did draw the attention of their team. I got the Ana to spend sleep. Oh, and this is nasty.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, yeah, I guess I can say, like, I don't know if it's like I can specifically take credit, but like sleep dart is such a valuable cooldown, and because like one thing leads to another, like in team fights in Overwatch, nothing happens in a vacuum, and so I guess you could say that like because I went for the dive, while I didn't kill the Ana, I dropped, like, I drew her attention. Like, what is going on, bro? Like, what's happening to Sigma, bro? Sigma. These textures are whack. Because I drew her attention, the team turned around for that brief time, but the most valuable thing was that Ana, like, yeeted her sleep dart at me. And because she yeeted her sleep dart, she did not have it to sleep our Sig, which got such a high value ultimate. And so sometimes pressure is more valuable than picks. And I think that's something that I need to kind of still remember, like whether I'm playing a Genji, a Sombra, Tracer, any type of flank hero that is like using cooldowns, like something I should always remember is that it's like obviously picks are good because they give you a man advantage, but I think also like we sometimes don't remember the importance of sometimes we don't remember the importance of like pressuring someone to use like vital cooldowns over the pick, because sometimes like if you get someone to use all their cooldowns and they don't have that value for later in the fight when they really need it, they might as well be dead anyway because they're not offering any utility for their team. And sometimes it's a little less risk heavy. Oh no, this is where I totally do something dumb. But like it's sometimes better to pressure the opponent and not wear out your welcome and get out without giving them a pick, but they still used a cooldown. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, I'm going to say what my line of thinking was here. I watch CarQ videos, and I know that you can get extra ult charge, you know, if you get an environmental kill, and I was like 6 to my pulse bomb, which also just doesn't help my argument because like I probably would have gotten it anyway, just in between team fights, but I wanted to kind of be stylish and get the melee kill on this resetting D.Va, so I got the environmental kill, and I ended up literally killing myself and looking like a dingus. Such is life and pain. Also, I'm just gonna kind of rotate the camera a bit because we don't need to be. Yeah, this is just pure pain, right here. This is the face of DDaehyun realizing that he made a terrible mistake. I honestly think in hindsight, like, because I literally, like, just beelined it to D.Va, like, I should not have done that because literally her entire clip of bullets unloaded into my face. So, like, it probably would have been a little, like, less risk to just, like, I don't know, if I just kind of, like, blink 180'd off the cliff, melee'd, and then recalled back, that would have been fine probably. And like worst case scenario, if I miss, I have the recall, but I don't know. I just made like a really dumb tunnel vision play and ended up looking like an idiot for it. So that's also something. When you're playing any hero, don't run in a straight line towards them. It just makes it so easy for your opponent. That's why we have AD. It's not just W and S. Oh my gosh, I felt like such a bonehead. That was pretty risky. Oh. Dang, it's another pulse bomb whiff. Woo, but I dodged the hook. Almost gets a melee. Oh, it would have been so stylish. I need to get better with doing those like blink melees. Okay, and we hold. Nice. Yeah. So overall, like,
Ready for battle.
We can kind of see there's been a little bit of improvement from last week's episode in the sense of like I'm closing the gap a little more. I got in the Ana's face. I didn't have fear. And that play, while I didn't get the pick, it got her sleep dart out, which later couldn't be used to save them from that massive play with our Sigma. 4, 3, 2,
1. Attackers incoming.
All right, let's play a game called If the Shield Wasn't There, Would I Have Gotten the Pig?
Payload moving out.
I don't know, actually.
1. Attackers incoming.
Payload moving
Escort
out.
the payload.
It looks like it's on the head of somebody. Oh, and then I kind of shift to the Orisa. I don't know. Shields, man. What do I play here? Oh, I play Tracer. Okay, so we're back on the Tracer. So he opts for the Helix first. All right. Oh, I get pulled in by the Orisa halt, but I would have totally like blinked to chase that Brig. Okay. This is really good pressure. Like, I think something that I'm trying to do here is that, like, when you're running, like, a comp like this, I think it's always important to be aware of, like, when you can do Crossfire as a DPS. Because Crossfire is so key into, like, splitting the enemy's attention. And so, like, I'm kind of shooting outward at this Orisa and was also pressuring their Brig. And so, why does it always teleport me back to this weird... But, like especially with Soldier, too. Soldier's an important hero to be aware for Crossfire. But Crossfire is always, like, a good thing to do. Just because when you're attacking from multiple angles and combine that with focus fire on a target, that's chef's kiss. I go in a little low here. Oh, yeah, this is where I'm kind of like, you know that show? I don't know if it's still on, but it's a show called I Shouldn't Be Alive. Welcome to the newest episode, newest entry right there. So I go in. I go in to try and burst this Orisa. I get stunned here by the Brig. There's a freaking bubbled and high energy Zarya here. 11 health. I go to 9 health. I'm still getting that Brig Inspire. I grab the mini and manage to get out. Like, meanwhile, like, we are all cleaning up the kills and we win that team fight. Yeah. That was not the best move on my part. I probably should not have blinked forward into a bubbled and high charge Zarya. That's a no-no. So, kind of mistaken target priority there for me. Oh, this is when kind of the team was like, oh, we're kind of pushed up too far. Yeah. I was trying to, like, I was kind of hesitating to set up for a pulse bomb, and I don't know, like, I think I should also have switched off of Tracer because, or I don't know, I think because, like, Lucio Bap is a healing comp that's not necessarily designed to, like, give Tracer resources as you would with, like, a Brig or a Zen. But I also think that Tracer, like, knowing that, I should have almost got slipped there. I should have been better with, like, managing my cooldowns and being aware of, like, maybe using health packs and taking more flank angles. So, dang. What happens to this pulse? What happens to this pulse? It's right there. Ah! Zarya does a really good job. This Rye guy, he was a good off tank. He bubbles it. That was probably just me kind of going for, like, a Hail Mary play. But I should have maybe waited a little bit and kept track of the cooldowns, especially Zarya bubble and Orisa gold. And also maybe ult tracking the Orisa, knowing that she had Supercharger. Like, it's always worth to, like, trade Supercharger for a Pulse Bomb because Supercharger is just a like, it is so much damage for the enemy team. Okay, yeah. So I think that's good target prioritization. Good target prioritization on the Supercharger. Like, it was kind of in a place where my team would have had maybe a hard time getting to it because they would have had to walk into the enemy like field of fire and kind of draw their attention on it. So it's good that I went for it. Like, if you're a flanker and you have an angle on a Supercharger, always take it out. I totally forgot that the soldier was there. Does he kill me with a rocket here? Yeah, he does. Gosh, dude. But he falls to the map. I think I had recall too. I just like, I don't know, again, I just get too cheeky and wear out my welcome. Okay, this is when I switch soldier. Oh, this is when we're trying to figure out who the heck is behind us. If you're a long-range DPS like Soldier, or even like if you have a Zen or a Lucio, like anyone that has just the ability to send objects, projectiles, and whatnot a long way, always go for the turret. That is your job. It's not your Zarya's job. It's not your Rein's job. It's not your Brig's job. It's not your Anna's job, even though she can. Like, just take out the turret. Honestly, take out the turret. Because if you don't, then everyone's just like, why is that turret doing so much damage? It's because everyone on the team is just like, oh, your job? Not mine? Your job? Like, everyone's just pointing fingers. Just, if you see the turret, shoot it. Just like, just kill the turret. Like, you want to keep it dead, out of the fight, not getting ult charge or utility for Torb as much as possible. Okay. Get the pick on the Brig. We'll get the pick on the Torb. But I think it's time we leave and go back to spawn. Yeah. What was going on in this fight? What is something I could have done better? While I was dealing with the Torb, I think the rest of our team was just getting run over. I think this was just like a bad team fight in the sense of like the team fight was kind of already going on when I was coming back from spawn. So like while I did get 2 picks, they were just kind of meaningless and further staggered myself at the end because now my team has to wait for me. I do think that this is a good push though because aren't they still coming back from spawn? Maybe. No, the Brig's already back, and the Torb is almost back. Yeah, I think maybe I should have just waited. Like, just let the team fight play out, and then just regrouped with my team. Like, the biggest thing that prevents people from winning games in Overwatch is that people just don't wait for their team. Like, there's just, like, such a lack of awareness on how important having a full team is to push. Like, people will just trickle. People will not back up when they lose someone. And all that leads to is, like, before you know it, 4 minutes is done because that's roughly what, like, 4 team fights, like 1 team fight every minute, 45 seconds to a minute. So, like, if you're just, I don't know, you just want to be careful and, like, be aware. Like, if you're just trickling in, then all of a sudden, like, you're just wasting so much time. So I should have waited for my team, though. Opting for the high ground, that's really good. Pressuring the soldier. Okay. Making sure to get that kill on the Rein. Continuing to press out the... Oh, I can't get the turret. know that I can burst the bubble. Yeah, so we get the kill on the Zarya. Like, I know a lot of people will tend to not shoot the Zarya bubbles, which is a good rule of thumb to have, but if she's by herself and like she has no way of like getting help from the team, sometimes you want to burst that bubble because you know that once that's gone, you can confirm the kill and it resets her charge anyway. So it's kind of about reading the situation on when to do that, because obviously when the team fight's ramping up, you don't want to just be donating endless amounts of energy to her, you know? Like, if anything, you should actually be trying to bait her bubbles, like kind of purposefully missing shots and shooting on either side, like, and then she'll bring her bubble up or like fake a cooldown, right? And then once it just wears off, she gets no energy, and then you shoot. But in a situation like that, yeah, like maybe she gets that energy for a little bit, but as long as she doesn't kill you and you get the kill on her, it doesn't matter. Oh, this is where I get so stressed out. Okay. I almost died to this turret. Oh my gosh. I almost got stuck on this box and died. I'm glad we got this, though. I love that voice line for Doom. This, I think... Yeah, I don't know. I think also people need to be, like, when you're playing tanks, you also want to be careful. Like, we were playing with a Lucio, like, right? But do you see how far our Rein is from Lucio? And where's our D.Va? Where is our D.Va? Is our D.Va dead? Where is she? Oh, she's right here. Wait, it looked like for some odd reason I just couldn't see her. What the frick? Okay. What happened here? I'm not trying to throw shade on our Rein, but... Oh, okay. So we got the pick on the soldier, and I guess there was just a big disconnect here because I think our Rein pushed up really far. Wow, he ended up getting pinned at a spawn, unlucky. But I think also when you're playing Rein, it's always like a good rule of thumb to be in communication, or at least be knowing and being aware of what your Lucio's doing, because I think Josiah and Lucio ended up going back because like we didn't really need to. It would have been better to stack on cart and prepare for the next team fight, move it as fast as possible to set up a fight on this corner. But now I think we actually lose a lot of this space because I think we lose we lose our main tank here, and yeah, so now he's trying to get our D.Va out. Our Doom goes in. Almost got caught out there by the CC from the Brig. But yeah, like it's really hard to explain. Like, I feel like there's not just one explanation or one rule that applies to everything, because Overwatch is such a nuanced game and it has like ebbs and flows to how it works. And I think it's just like the best players just know how to read that ebb and flow on a moment's notice, to know when to get aggressive, when to take space, when to drop back, when to retreat. But honestly, I think in many ways, like a good rule of thumb when you're starting out and maybe in the lower ranks and trying to just get more familiar with the role is just try to think ahead and be like, what is the best way that I can minimize my deaths? Because if you're dead, you are not doing anything for your team, and that's like so much time spent where your team is down one, especially if you're a tank, because there's no one to enforce or take space. There's no one to shield them or give them utility to protect them against the other team. So you really want to be careful. And so sometimes after you win a team fight, feels good, you have momentum. And so, yeah, maybe you want to push up, but you have to realize, like, I'm just one tank, even with my partner, like, that's just two of us. against maybe 6 of the enemy team that's coming back from spawn. So what's the best way for me to stay alive in these next like 10 to 20 seconds? Maybe I'll communicate with my team, hey, push up with me so we're together while one person sticks on payload. Or I'll be like, you know what? I realize my team is stacking on payload. I'm going to shield them, because if I'm pushed up, there's no one to really shield them and take care of them from long range either. So it's just kind of about trying to minimize your deaths and kind of thinking ahead to be like, what is the best situation I can put myself in to where I don't die? But I do know that I think our Rein was just not expecting to get pinned there. But at the same time, like, yeah, I don't know. Just be careful of pushing up too far. But, I mean, we've all done it. But, you know, you live and you learn, right? Or in this case, you respawn and you learn. See, I push forward, but as soon as he gets Nano, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. And I'm glad that our Rein was pushed up there. Our D.Va's taking an off angle, but she's really low. I think she just gets whip-shotted. Feels bad. Oh, I almost get that Torb. There's so many, like, almosts on this Torb. I eat that Fire Strike. Good block by my Rein. Like, I would have been up creek if I got shattered there. So, nice job. Nice job to our Rein to just be aware and read the shatter as soon as the window comes up. I get whip-shotted forward by the Brig. Oh my god. And I get, like, dang, dude, mother-daughter working together. Brig, like, stuns me into the Torb spooge. Now that I said that, that sounds terrible. This is a big slam. Dude, our Rein, like, while he might have made that, like, slight positioning mistake, he, like, really brought it back here. Like, he blocked the shatter, allowed us to get really good value, because even though I didn't get that many kills, you don't want to be standing in front of a visor window combo. So everyone pulls back, you know, like the Rein has to donate some of his shield, you know, and eventually it falls and we get the pick, right? And then that paves way for our Rein to get a massive shatter. And so, like, while we don't get, like, the kills right immediately off of it, like, while everyone's stunned, like, it forces everyone to pull back. We just stack a bunch of ultimates, and yeah, like, that shatter, I think, is what won us the game. Yeah, and we just win. Okay. So, yeah, I guess, like, main takeaways here would be, like, I think the biggest glaring issue for me was my ult usage and movement, especially in that D.Va case. Like, movement is like, if I want to go for any type of play that builds me more ult charge and opting to do damage, it's like the same mindset of, like, I want to think ahead, where, like, when I was talking about with, like, the tank, saying, like, how can I prioritize, like, not dying? Like, it was at the end of the team fight. I should have no excuse to dying at the end of the team fight, right? And so, if anything, I should be, like, prioritizing how can I move, keep myself from getting shot to keep myself alive, you know? Even at the end of the team fight. Like while there is downtime, you definitely don't want to get picked, so you still want that awareness there. So I think my movement would have been better there, better decision making. But I think all around, it's also just my ult usage this game. I think there were many times where I thought I could just do a hero play and just draw so much attention on myself, and that I was just invincible in that brief moment, but I wasn't. I wasted, like, 2 visors. Like, I felt like none of my ultimates got value this game, except for that one with the window. Like, it felt like none of them got value just because, like, I was using them at the end of a team fight, you know, especially with the Tracer Pulse Bomb, too. Like, I was going on, like, I learned that, you know, from my last VOD review, like, it was good in the sense of I was, like, getting more in the face of the opponent, not having as much fear, you know, like, that's good. But at the same time, I also, like, was not using my ults at the best time, where I should have been, like, being more, like, in the rhythm with my team, allowing them to draw some of the aggro and attention. So when I do ult, their full attention doesn't completely turn on me. I die without getting any value on the visor, and it's just a wasted ult, or pulse bomb too. But yeah, this was fun. Thanks for tuning in. This is episode 2 of the Feedback Friday. And thanks again also for those who tuned into the stream. Yeah, it's been fun. I hope everyone has a good weekend. And I hope to see everyone on Monday with the stream in the afternoon. Thanks everyone. I'll see ya.